If you're within 10 years of retirement, you have something incredibly valuable that someone within 6 months from retirement would love to have. Time, but only if you use it. If you're within 10 years of retirement, you have something incredibly valuable that someone, say, 6 months away from retirement, would love to have, and that's time. But only if you use it. For 36 years, I worked in human resources, and for 15 of those years, I specialized in retirement and benefits. I have watched people prepare for retirement in very different ways. Some started early, others waited until they were literally in my office door saying, "Okay, Veronica, I'm ready to retire," or on the phone, "What do I need to do today?" And now that I've retired myself at 56, I understand that transition from both sides of the desk. So today, I want to give you 5 things I believe you should start doing if retirement is anywhere within your next 10 years. And surprisingly, only one of them is directly related to money. Welcome to Next Chapter with Veronica. If you're new here, this channel is about more than leaving your job. We talk about preparing for retirement, navigating life after work, rediscovering purpose, relationships, time freedom, personal growth, and figuring out what you actually want this chapter of your life. In my last video, I talked about what nobody prepared me for when I retired at 56. And today I want to go backwards because if you haven't retired yet, there is something incredibly powerful that you have the opportunity to prepare your last day. So let me start with something I saw people put off again and again during my HR career. Number one, know what you actually have. Okay, all right, that's what we want to do. You probably know approximately how much you have in your retirement account, but do you understand your entire retirement picture? Do you understand your pension? If you have one, what about your retirement accounts? Do you understand Social Security? Do you understand your employer benefits? What about health insurance? That's a biggie. What about any unused leave you may have, your life insurance, your survivor benefits, if that's applicable, and any other benefits that may change or disappear when you stop working? One thing I learned while working in retirement and benefits is that people sometimes know far less about their benefits than they think they do. And, that's understandable. When we're working a lot, things happen in the background. We don't think about it, and your deductions just come out, and your employer provides certain benefits, and you get your paycheck. That's the big thing. And life just moves on. So, retirement changes that, though. You become responsible. You for understanding what continues, what stops, what you need to elect, what decisions may be permanent. So sometimes this month, I want you to pull the information, not someday, okay? Actually look at it. If something doesn't make sense, ask questions. Talk to your HR or benefits office. Talk to your plan administrator if that's the case. Talk to the appropriate financial, tax, insurance, or legal professional when you need individual guidance. So don't wait until your retirement paperwork is sitting in front of you to learn what your benefits actually are. So, one of the biggest advantages you have with 10 years left isn't necessarily more money, it's more time to discover what you don't know. Because when your years they start going away, you have less options. When you have weeks, it's even less. So make sure your options aren't gone. Number two, check your beneficiaries and your life insurance. This is a big one and important. Now, we're going to talk about this because most people don't enjoy talking about it. And what happens if you're not here? During my retirement career, beneficiary issue were one of those things people they just didn't care a lot about and they wanted to postpone it. Oh, I'll do that later. Maybe you completed these beneficiary forms 15 years ago, but since then, life happened. You got married. Maybe you got divorced. Maybe you got remarried. Maybe you've had children. Maybe now your children have become adults. Someone you listed on your beneficiaries, they may have passed away. Your family situation changes, and you've just never gone back to look at the forms. This is why I want you to review the beneficiary designations that are associated with your retirement accounts, pensions, your employer plans, your life insurance, if any of this is applicable. And while you're looking at your life insurance, find out what happens to your employer provided coverage when you retire. Does it continue? Does it decrease? Can you convert it? Does it end? Don't assume. Your particular plan determines what that answer is. And here's why I think people postpone this. Updating a beneficiary isn't emotionally difficult, but the form is difficult. It's difficult because of what the form makes you think about. It asks us to imagine a time when we may not be here. Nobody enjoys doing that. But taking care of your beneficiaries isn't really about death. It's about an act of love for the people who may have to deal with everything after you. You don't want the people you love trying to untangle decisions you could have clarified while you were here. Number three, have the conversations you've been avoiding. Number three is especially important if you're married or you have a partner. You can have a beautifully organized retirement plan and discover that the two of you have completely different ideas about retirement. One person imagines traveling, the other wants to stay home. One wants to move, the other never wants to leave the house they've lived in for 25 years. One imagines spending every day together, the other is thinking, I love you, but every day? These conversations matter. And there are serious conversations to be had. Does your spouse or your partner know where documents are? The important ones. Do both of you understand your benefits? Does someone know what accounts exist? Who could they contact if something happened to you? If one person manages everything financially, does the other person know enough to function if that person suddenly cannot? Retirement doesn't happen to one person when you're sharing your life with someone else. Your retirement changes their life too. So don't wait until your last day at work to discover that you've been planning two completely different retirements. Start talking now. Number four, start building a life outside of work. This one became much more real to me after I retired. For decades, work gives us structure without us having to create it. Where you're supposed to be Monday morning, you know what time you got to get up. People expect things from you. There are meetings, there are deadlines, there are problems to solve, people who need your expertise. Then You retire. And suddenly, your calendar belongs to you. And that sounds fantastic. And it is. But freedom and purpose aren't automatically the same thing. This is why I don't want you waiting until retirement to develop interest outside of your career. Start right now. Take a class. Join the group that you've always wanted to do. Volunteer. Travel locally. Learn a new language. Reconnect with someone. Try a hobby. Mentor somebody. Start exploring the person you are when you're not performing your job. And don't worry if you don't immediately discover your grandiose purpose. You don't need one giant answer. You need to be curious. Ask yourself this: if nobody needed me to show up for work tomorrow, what would I want to show up for instead? That question, it can be a little uncomfortable, but it can also change the way you prepare for retirement. Because we're not just trying to figure out what we're retiring from, we're figuring out what we're retiring to. Number 5, practice your retirement before you retire. Number 5 may sound a little strange. I want you to practice retirement, not financially, practically. Take a Saturday when you don't have to absolutely do anything. There's no schedule. Don't automatically fill it with chores. Instead, imagine this is Tuesday. I'm retired. What would I actually like to do today? What time would I wake up? Would I exercise? Would I meet someone for coffee? Would I work on something? Would I volunteer? Would I learn something? Would I spend time alone? It's good. Would I make me go to bed? What would make me go to bed thinking that was a good day? Because here's something we're going to talk about a lot on this channel. A fulfilling retirement isn't made up of only vacations. It's mostly made up of ordinary Tuesdays. Don't only plan the retirement vacation. That's good. Plan the retirement Tuesday. The vacation may happen once or twice a year. Tuesday happens every week. And the quality of those ordinary days may ultimately determine how fulfilling retirement feels to you. So here's our recap. If you're within 10 years of retirement, start here. Okay. Know what you actually have and how your benefits work. Review your beneficiaries and your life insurance. Have the conversations you've been avoiding. Start building a meaningful life outside of your career. And practice what an ordinary retirement day could eventually look like for you. Notice what we're doing. We're not just building a retirement plan. We're building a life plan. I want to hear from you. Which one of these 5 have you been putting off? There's no judgment here. Maybe it's beneficiaries. Maybe it's talking to your spouse or your significant other. Maybe you've done a beautiful job planning your money, but haven't spent 5 minutes thinking about what you're going to do on Tuesday morning. Put the number 1, 2, 3, or 5 in the comments. Your answers will also help me to know, which topic I should go a little bit deeper in for you. And if retirement is within your next 10 years, subscribe to the next chapter with Veronica. We're going to talk about the practical things you need to prepare for, but we're also going to talk about the thing that you don't always show up for on your retirement list, such as your identity, your purpose, your relationships, your time, your family, and the possibilities that come with having the freedom to decide what happens next. Because retirement isn't simply about leaving a career, it's about intentionally creating the life that follows it. Your next chapter, your time, your possibilities. And always remember, you are way more capable than you've allowed yourself to even imagine. I'll see you in the next one.